everybody. Let's welcome our LIV Golf Bedminster champions, Ripper GC. We are joined by Jed Morgan, Captain Cam Smith, Mark Leishman, and Matt Jones. And we are also joined by our LIV Golf Bedminster individual champion, Cam Smith. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Hey.
So, Cam, I just wanted to start with you. I was sitting in player dining, and just some of the things that people were saying about you while you're playing. You have the largest spread win of an individual champion in LIV history with a 7-shot lead. People are saying, yep, Cam Smith's just really good at golf. Yeah, Cam Smith is the best putter in the world. And it's just this constant thing about you just being the greatest of all time. How does that make you feel?
I think I'm a long way off the greatest of all time. But I did play good this week. The game felt good. I won a couple of weeks ago in London. I wasn't happy with the way that I won. I was happy that I won, but just the way that it kind of all worked out, I wasn't happy with how I played in that last day, and I didn't want the same thing to happen today, and I got off to a bit of a rough start. And yeah, just played good. Just trusted my feels. Spoke to my coach early in the week, and we just spoke about some stuff that was going on, and typical stuff. It's always the same thing, and just trusted it the last, probably 14, 15 holes, and worked out all right.
Do you feel like you're the best putter in the world currently?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, I'll take that.
It's hard to say that. Yeah, I think I'd be up there, but.
Jed, I want to ask you. You had kind of a rough day yesterday, and you bounced back and played incredible today, and obviously helped your team take the win. What does this mean to you, and how did you rebound so well today?
Yeah, I mean, not really by not changing anything. I mean, I didn't really do much different to yesterday. I just made, obviously a lot more bogeys yesterday than I did today, and shooting 5 unders, obviously a lot different, just 7 over. But I mean, I had a good talk, obviously, to my dad last night. He told me a couple of good things, and yeah, Cam gave me some advice this morning that obviously today is more than just myself, and I kept in mind that there's 3 great blokes to my left, obviously, that I've got to play for, and yeah, past that 24th spot, you're not playing for obviously anything apart from money, which is obviously, it's convenient, it's nice, it's a lucky spot to be in, but yeah, I had to rally, and yeah, it was nice. It was just nice to play good for these guys.
And Mark and Matt, first win for Ripper GC. You guys all did shoeies up on the stage tonight. Tell me about that moment up there and what you guys were feeling.
Yeah, it was, apart from the disgust of wearing a shoe for a week and having a beer out of it, it was pretty good. I think for me, just the satisfaction of being able to celebrate a win with some of your best mates in the world. And also for me, I mean, it was obviously, Cam won London and we got close in London as a team, but it was a weird feeling on the 18th green in London. And I think for me today, obviously Cam looked like he was pretty solid all week. Looked like he was going to do what he did. And for us to pull ahead as a team and be able to celebrate on that 18th green, an individual victory, a team victory, 8 happy blokes, caddies, teams, everything. There was more than that, but I think that's what LIV Golf's all about, that team side of it, and just celebrating together, and that's what we'll do.
And Matt?
Yeah, it was amazing. Playing with these boys, I've known him for a long time. Jed, I've known for the last couple of years, and he's just a legend. We love playing with Jed. We do. Cam, I mean, everyone talks about Scotty Scheffler having a finish of top 12 every week. Cam does it every week out here. And he wins these 2 events. So if there's talk about Scotty, there's got to be talk about Cam in the same breath. So that's all I have to say.
And Mark, can you share with us a little bit about the caddy swap this week?
Yeah, so Maddie, who's been my caddy for the last, and one of my best mates for the last, best mate since I've been alive. Caddy for probably 16, 17 years. His mum passed away unexpectedly. about 2.5 weeks ago. So obviously Maddie went home. We called Bussy, and being the man he is, he stepped up and filled in for Maddie. And yeah, you know, it's a hard situation because, you know, we all love Glenda, and just the lady she was and what she meant to so many people. And I think today is a pretty good way to send her off on top of what their family did last Monday night, Tuesday, well, in America, Tuesday morning. So, you know, obviously our condolences to the Kelly family, and, you know, I think we'd all agree that this one's for Glenda and the whole Kelly family.
Yeah, definitely. This one's for the Kellys.
So, kind of for all of you, how are you guys going to be celebrating tonight? And then how is Australia going to be celebrating when they wake up and find out?
Hopefully they go to the moon.
They're already
It's
awake.
pretty early in the
already
morning.
know.
They know. Okay,
They
so
already
how's
know.
Australia
It's
celebrating,
9
and how are
it's
you
9
guys
o'clock.
celebrating?
It's 9 o'clock on the East Coast, so I think that's probably soon enough for everyone to crack open a tin and have
Don't look for too much productivity.
Yeah, well, actually, we're all going our separate ways tonight. Actually, these two boys on the outside are going to England to compete in the international series next week, and then Leisha's going home, and I'm going home. So it's.
Well, it's funny you mentioned
be a
that,
weird one.
actually, because as you were walking down the 18th fairway, coming onto the 18th green, Matt volunteered that you would get a private jet for the two of them to fly to the international series tonight, so they didn't have to take a commercial flight. So what do you say?
That's a hard no.
And last one for you, Cam. You're the most reluctant celebrity I've ever seen. You are a huge star. It's evident everywhere we go, and you seem very reluctant to it, but also very, very gracious. Is it something that you're getting used to, or that you're enjoying at all?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I just think it's part of my personality. I think it's part of all of our personalities. I think Australians in general are pretty laid-back people, and yeah, you know, we've got this thing called tall poppy syndrome in Australia. If you get a little bit too far ahead of yourself,
You'll just
the
get a
Aussies
clip over the back.
Yeah,
Of the head.
the Aussies will quickly pull you back down. So, you know, I'm happy with the spot that I'm in. I'm grateful for all my fans, and yeah, it's cool to do that. But at the same time, I still want to be the same person as I was 10 years ago.
Well, you're extremely gracious and a deserving champ. Congratulations, guys. I'm going to let Mike take over from here.
Cam, you remember the last time you won by 7?
No. I think I maybe won the. This is actually funny. I maybe actually won the Greg Norman Junior Classic by 7.
Oh, yeah?
I reckon I was 17, and I reckon it was about 7. It would have been 7 or 8. Yeah.
So can you just take us through the stretch of 6 and 7? Obviously, you birdied 6 and then fell, had the quintuple bogey. Can you just take us through that stretch from your perspective?
You know, I think this golf course is, you know, when you tee off that first hole, you got 1 where you need to hit the fairway, you got 2 where you need to hit the fairway, you got 3 where you need to hit the fairway, and then finally today we got a break on 4 with there was a wedge in the hand today, but those first 3 holes really they just keep you on your toes, and I didn't hit my driver as I wanted to those first 3 holes, but as we got up to those holes, you know, like I said to Jane before, I just had to trust what I was doing, and you know, what I was doing at the start of the week didn't feel the same today, but just had to trust it, and was able to do that. It was a bit of a weird stretch there. You know, 6 was a really tough pin. We only probably had 3 or 4 over the back of that. Otherwise, it's going in the water. And then 7 hard off the right with a right pin, water right. 2 really tough holes. and it was, you know, for how Phil played those first 5 or 6 holes, it was really, it was just out of the ordinary. I wasn't really expecting that. I don't think anyone was, and he's obviously, you know, still probably 3 or 4 back at that point and trying to make birdies. So it's a weird golf course. You can't play defensive and play for pars, but you can't play too aggressive and try to make birdies. You got to almost let the birdies come to you, and I can understand, you know, why that happened, because you're behind and you want to win. That's as simple as that.
Did your mindset change after 7 at all?
You know, Phil was the closest to me at the time, so I don't think it changed at all. I think I was still trying to do my stuff, but you know, still was probably only four ahead at that stage, 4 or 5 ahead. So you know, still had to put my head down. It's not an easy golf course, especially when you're playing out of the rough. Those drives are so important, and where a couple of these pins were today was a little bit dicey as well. So
doozy, as Bussy would call it, doozy.
Yeah, yeah. So you just had to hit every shot right, and you had to hit the right shot. You had to get the wind right. You had to get the spin right. It wasn't an easy golf course, and yeah, just had to do what we did, you know, the last couple of days.
Jed, can you tell us at all kind of what your father said, or any inspiration that he gave you?
No, it wasn't. I wouldn't say it's any inspiration to make you play any better. I just let a bit of emotion out to him. He's probably one of the only people, I guess, that I can really do that with, and I'm sure it's the same with these guys here. It's just the bond you have, obviously, with family members. And I was, not very happy with myself after yesterday, and the way I fought the first day to shoot 1 over. Yeah, to shoot 7 over and just kind of let myself down, and obviously these guys down a bit. It annoyed me a little bit, and I guess I just had to let some emotion out, and to come back. I didn't change anything today. I just, played better.
When's the last time you've been that mad?
That mad? I wouldn't say I was mad. I haven't actually been mad about my golf for a while. I guess you just feel a bit down when you're not quite doing what you want to do for everyone and for yourself and all that. And I wouldn't say I was angry or anything about that. I just, threw a few tears at him, actually, to be honest. It was a 20-minute conversation. There was a few tears in there, and he just helped me through it. And that's the same thing that he's done since I was a junior, and same as my mother. And it was nice.
Matt, Mark, did you know what Jed was doing on the course? Were you able to keep up how hot he had gotten today?
I saw early on we were pulling ahead, but I didn't know who was doing it. I couldn't tell. I saw it later on when I saw what Cam was, what Leash was, and I knew someone was 4 or 5 under. I knew it wasn't me, and I think all of us will say that we're very more than happy for Jed to be doing that, because we all know what he can do and we all believe in what he can do, and for him to do it today on this golf course in these conditions, which were not easy for anyone. I'm sure he was low man in the field this week, and that's what we expect of him every week. We expect him to be able to do that. I'm not putting pressure on him, but that's what we believe he can do.
Yeah, it was a major test out there today. With that wind and the length of the golf course, the length of the rough, you had to play some really good golf to shoot under par. And, you know, the guys at the top of the leaderboard were able to do that. Obviously, Cam did it for 3 days in a row. But for Jed to do it today, I don't think any of us were surprised. Just really happy for him and proud of him with how he... you know, we all stayed in the same house. We saw what he was going through last night. We saw he was a little bit down. But, you know, everyone has their own way of going through things. And I think you have to know that about yourself, you know, who to call. And he knew who to call. And it worked out for him and for us.
So, Cam, you take over the points lead with 2 regular season tournaments left. You talked a little bit yesterday about kind of the importance of having a season-long type victory? Is that, now that it's kind of within your grasp, can you just take us through what you're thinking with 2 tournaments left, having the lead? Have you ever had a season-long championship before?
I think I've been in a couple of, in the running a couple of times, maybe the last couple of years. But I don't think I've played this consistent. I have had a couple of bad weeks that I would like to take back, but other than that, I feel like I'm playing the most consistent golf and the best golf that I've played, and it's nice to be able to do that week in, week out. It's something that I've worked for. It's something that was a goal of mine at the start of the year, was to be up there with at least a chance for the last event. So it's nice to do it, and I think it'll keep me practicing the next 5 weeks. 5 weeks is a long time off. Probably put the clubs down for a couple of weeks and then get right back into it. And going back to Chicago where I won last year is a nice feeling as well. I think I was playing some really good golf at the time last year's. So it's another tough golf course. Small greens, slopey greens. You need to leave it in the right spots and putt it good, and I'll be keeping an eye on all that stuff.
And one last question from me. Have you guys watched the Matildas?
Yeah, we have actually.
We watched a replay. It was on at 3 a.m. We weren't getting up at 3 a.m.
They're gutsy. They are gutsy. It's been awesome. It's actually been awesome to see them beat, obviously, Canada and beat France. And, there's a bit of a surgence behind the Aussie Matildas, which is cool.
All right, thanks.
Just 2 questions for Cam. You at number 7, you and Burmester both played more toward the center and wound up in the collection area. How shocking was it to see Mickelson continue to go for such a dicey pin there at 7? How astounding was that for you to walk off after that?
I think, like I said to Mike before, it's when you're a few behind and you want to make something happen, it's you kind of feel like you need to do it in this golf course the way it is. Not only that hole, but pretty much every hole around here. You need to be careful of what you're trying to do, and
We're done.
I can understand how that happened 100%. Phil's a competitor. He's one of the best golfers of all time. He hasn't been in the winner's circle for a couple of years, so I understand that want from him to make a statement, and I think it would have been a different story if that hole, had been a little bit different.
And then after that happened, you went on to birdie 8 through 10. That gave you 4 birdies in 5 holes. Was it just a matter at that point of sort of putting it on cruise control and just being careful not to make one of those critical mistakes?
Yeah, it's kind of easy to say, but you can't. There's no cruise control around here. Every hole is hard. You need to be. Yeah, there's not a hole. Yeah. I actually don't think there's a hole on the whole golf course where you can take a breath and, let's just plot this one down here and get it on the green and make an easy par. It's always grinding for a par or, 2 really good shots to set up a birdie. It wasn't easy.
Yeah, just top spin it up there, fly it.
Hey, Cam. Congrats, guys. It's great to see you guys up there. Cam, right out of the gate, you stumbled a little bit. You opened up with 2 bogeys after 3 holes. When that happens, and you got a guy like Phil Mickelson and a major field coming at you, how do you dial it back in and just say, all right, I got to put that in the rear view and keep going and win this?
Yeah, I think those first 3 holes are just really tough holes. They're kind of easy to par, but they're easy to bogey at the same time. They're not snacks by any means, and I think just getting back to the process, trusting what we were doing, trusting that wind, and just allowing it to all happen. I played 2 really good days of golf, so there's no reason for me to go out there today and have 5 or 6 over and give the tournament away. It was just about getting back to what we know, and I think after 4 was a little bit of a settler. 5, I made a good par putt, and then 6 finally made a birdie. I think that was kind of the turning point for me, anyway.
Right on. And then, Jed, really quick, you're standing next to 3 guys that I'm sure you idolized growing up. Greg Norman was standing on the stage, the same thing. Like, what does it mean to be medalist amongst this group of guys and, help your team big time on a Sunday?
It's obviously awesome. Cam's played like ridiculous all year, and as I've said in a few interviews before this, we just needed to back him up, and I mean, it's honest, and the boys to the left, they can agree. Leash obviously played good in London, and we came close there. It just takes a couple of us to play good and a couple others to back us up, and to play good against these guys out here, it's world class out here, and I'm really like finding that out. Obviously, over the last few months, it's been tough for where I've finished in the fields, and I don't know. It's just nice to shoot low and to help the blokes that you're out here with, and like it's a rare opportunity to be in golf. I think at the moment, to be in a team, like it's now becoming a team sport, and to be with 3 guys who've achieved everything in the sport, and to have someone on the team just starting out, to be able to go to 3 other guys for advice, that's never been done before. And obviously LIV Golf's, that's obviously brought that into fruition, I think. And it's been nice. Today was awesome. Today I didn't look at the leaderboards all day, and then my caddy on the last hole just said, mate, we've got a 10-shot lead, and I was like, you're kidding. And it's been nice. We stayed in the house together this week. No talk about golf. We've actually had a few bets on the races in California. Pretty sure I gave a bookie his whole wage for the next 3 months. It's just been nice. It's just been totally awesome. So.
Well, enjoy it, guys. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks.
Last question for me. I don't know if the cameras can pan down, but you guys have been squirming quite a bit throughout this press conference and taking your shoes off. Are they a little wet?
A little bit.
Well, I threw my shoes
You're
away.
not even wearing shoes. So.
Yeah, I got no shoes.
They're a bit squirmy right now.
Thank you guys so much. Congratulations, Cam. We'll see you defending in Chicago.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, next time.
Thanks, Dane.